Hey there, in this video, I want to talk to you about the main reasons people succeed in sponsorship and how you can too. And here's a hint, none of it has anything to do with luck. Check it out. Let's talk about the 7 reasons people succeed in sponsorship. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon so that you never miss an update. And if you are a follower of the channel and you want me to keep making videos like this every week, go ahead and click the thumbs up button. Reason number 1 that people are successful in sponsorship is that they have clearly defined goals. As much money as humanly possible is not a clearly defined goal. Why do you need a clearly defined goal in order to be successful? It's really simple. What gets measured gets done. And if you don't know what you're trying to achieve, then you have no idea if you are on track. And if you don't know if you're on track, you aren't. So make sure you know exactly how much money you want and need, know exactly how many sponsors that will require, know how many proposals you're going to have to submit, how many discovery calls you're going to have, how many prospects you're going to need in your pipeline, and how many emails and phone calls you're going to have to send out into the world. Successful people in sponsorship do their research. They research their audience. They research their activation ideas. They do regular polling to understand whether or not their sponsorship opportunities make sense to their audience. They research their prospects based on a connection to audience and brand interests. Research, research, research is the hallmark of a good sponsorship seeker. They avoid common traps, meaning they don't fall for things like thinking a gold, silver, bronze package is going to work, or that if they just e-blast thousands of total strangers their sponsorship package that they're going to close deals. They avoid common traps thinking that sponsorship proposals make the sale. These common traps are to be avoided if you want to be successful. Assuming, of course, that you measure success by how much sponsorship revenue you bring in. If you measure success by how many proposals you send out to people that get thrown directly into the garbage, then gold, silver, bronze, e-blasting strangers is exactly the right path. The best sponsorship seekers and those who are successful have a list of contacts. Now I know what you're thinking. I have a list of contacts. I downloaded every company on the internet and I'm just going to send them a sponsorship proposal. That's not what the most successful people do. The most successful people have a list of contacts that have a reason to be interested in the audience of the sponsorship seeker. And that list of contacts isn't just a bunch of forms that they fill out online, and it's not just a bunch of hello at or contact us at email addresses. They are actual people with actual email addresses and phone numbers in companies that genuinely want to hear from the sponsorship seeker because they're actively selling products to the audience. This is a very different approach to what most people do with the cast a wide net lack of strategy. And that's why it works. The very best sponsorship seekers respect a no thank you. Instead of constantly following up and sending email after email after email when someone says, I'm not interested, they simply say, no problem at all. I appreciate you letting me know. And hey, while I have you, is there anyone in your network who you think would be interested in this audience? The way that you treat people matters. And that's how you build a reputation. So when people tell you no thank you, if you treat them with respect, they will have no problem referring you to somebody in their network, or perhaps giving you some feedback as to why they weren't interested. And the very best sponsorship seekers pursue sponsors of all sizes, not just looking for that one sponsor who's going to sign a 100-year deal at $10 billion a year. These sponsors are very rare, if they exist at all, and they're really hard to find. It's also incredibly risky to just have one big sponsor. I can't tell you how many times a new client comes to us saying, we lost our one sponsor and we're going to go bankrupt. What should we do? What you should do is go back in time and get many, many, many sponsors at all sorts of financial levels with multi-year agreements of varying lengths. And you should also have a pipeline and a ladder set up to move small sponsors up to big sponsors so that whenever you lose a big sponsor, you can backfill them with your sales pipeline. Sponsors of all sizes is a healthy thing. It's the right ecosystem and mix for your sponsorship opportunity. And I would argue the most important thing is that the successful sponsorship seekers learn from failure. And what I mean by that is this. What most people do is send a sponsorship proposal to 100 people and hear nothing back, and draw the illogical conclusion that what they need to do is send out even more sponsorship proposals. This, of course, doesn't make any sense. A 0% conversion rate at scale is still a 0% conversion rate. It's sort of like hitting yourself in the thumb with a hammer and drawing the conclusion that the solution is to just hit your thumb even harder and more often. Of course, this is a preposterous idea, yet people do this in sponsorship all the time. The very best sponsorship seekers try something, test something, see it doesn't work, and then they do something different. Doing the very same thing over and over and over again will only produce the same results. And if you don't have the results you want, it's because the inputs, the activities you're engaging in, are not working. I would love it if you could drop down below in the comments your biggest takeaway from this video, the one thing you're going to implement immediately, the one thing you're going to change. And remember, the sponsorship proposal does not make the sale. You do. Good luck out there.